All right, so if I run this test, I should get a failure that the last name is not equal to small father. It looks like it's equal to Jan. So we were looking for the last. This is actually kind of a test that I'm not crazy about. Let's say genre, create a list of tracks. Let's just delete this. So this expectation is that the last name will be equal to small father. And I don't know what that necessarily has to do with, like, it has many different tracks. So let's just go ahead and delete that. Based on this describe block, I'm looking at the genre model and its associations, and it has many different tracks. I would say that by declaring the genre has a tracks count different from the track total, we can know for sure that a given genre has many tracks. Cool. Genre, any way to refactor that? I don't think so, other than doing this. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and I guess the other thing we can do, just get practice, is create a genre with a trait. So let's maybe create a genre. And we don't even need that R&B here, actually, because we're not asserting it anywhere. But let's create a genre with tracks again. So this gets super interesting because in our artists, right, or albums, which one did we just use? We just did artists with albums. Okay, I thought we did with tracks. So let's just do that again. We'll go to genres. We will create a trait called with tracks, do, and then we will say transient do. We'll say track count, set that equal to 3 by default. That is redundant. And we'll say after create do with our genre and with our evaluator this, and we'll say we want to create a list tracks evaluator track count with the genre. Okay, so we have a genre with tracks, and let's go ahead and delete this line. Cool. In case it wasn't clear, that line was essentially doing the same thing. We're creating a list of tracks with genre tied to this first genre, and we're basically moving that to here. So we're abstracting that even more. Starting to look really nice. Let's just make this genre with tracks. Let's say track count 1. Come back to here, and even since we are very interested in the explicit, we're actually setting the same as the default, but it just makes it a little more readable. And green 4 should still pass. Awesome. Cool. Let's zip right along, move to media type. We can bring this out, build a media type. Let's check the media type spec. Expect that to pass. Cool. Media type attribute has a name. RSpec reading in a very nice way. Again, we've seen this pattern where we had to create all these valid tracks with all their associations, but now our track factory has that. So let's just keep that in mind, that we can create a list of tracks. In this case, undo that real quick. What's changing is the media type. So we've set 2 media types for differentiation. This pattern should start to feel real familiar. And there are other ways that you could kind of test this. It's just kind of the pattern we're going with. So I want to see 2 media types, And let's just go ahead and plan on making create media type. So here's a case where we could maybe experiment a little bit. So I want to create a media type with tracks. Okay, and let's do track count 3 because we deleted 3, just keeping the test assertion similar. Album and genre are no longer used in that track creation. Let's do something similar here. It's media type 2. Okay, and with tracks, let's make this 1. Tracks count. Oh, it looks like we had 4. My bad. Let's change this to 3. So we expect the total count to be 4. Again, the name thing is a little off topic. So let's run this. We should get a failure that with tracks is not defined here. Okay. So what I'm interested in is, could we extract this with tracks with genre? How could we maybe, after create self, we're going to go a little Wild West here. We're going to take this and copy it outside of the scope of the factory genre. Okay. Now we're outside of factory. We're just creating a trait called with tracks. And if this first thing doesn't work, we'll table it and try to come back to it another time. Where this is already getting a little hairy. Yeah, I had low doubts that that is not chill. We did a bad thing just then. So we created that. Let's just go ahead and grab this for now. I would love to look into how do we repeat this behavior where we have a trait that is kind of bound to an attribute. So we're in media types. I want to add that trait here. This test should pass now. Oh, not genre. Go to genre. We change this to media type. Media type. Media type. Okay. Cool. Again, so all I was saying was we have basically the exact same logic. All that's changing is this attribute. So I'll look into that. That would be really nice to do. So here again, wow, clean that up real quick. Feel free to go back and pause. Look at that playlist. Ooh, I don't think we made a create build playlist. We should get a nice failure. Playlist. What's our time at? 8:22. Coming to a pause soon. Probably just have one more video after this. Unregistered factory playlist. Going to. That's awesome. So we made a lot, and we're able to keep using them. Playlists RB. Playlists. Playlists. And let's go ahead and delete everything that's in here. Do need an end. And it looks like a playlist has a name. So let's just say name jams. Validations, it does have a uniqueness of name. So let's go ahead. And I'm just reading here on the test, which is really good example of good testing, right? Is being able to understand the context of a model based on its test. So it has a name, and it is expected to validate the uniqueness of name. So I need to sequence name with a block and a incrementing integer. We will come into here. iJams. Get rid of that. And cool. Run our tests. See if this works. Does not. You're not registered. Oh. Hopefully you caught that before I did. Okay. And we're about to break. Bye.